Although revenue projections show that GovGuam is on track to collect the money it budgeted for this fiscal year, GovGuam is facing a cash crunch. This cash crunch may be due in part to GovGuam spending Section 30 money meant for this fiscal year on last fiscal year's expenses. Here's more. BBMR has said that GovGuam revenue projections are on track to collect slightly more money than they budgeted for this fiscal year. Meanwhile, the hospital is struggling to pay vendors. Some of its employees can't even retire, and education agencies are behind a combined total of $23.7 million. A lot of this may be due to the fact that GovGuam was already short on cash at the end of the last fiscal year. In fact, GovGuam had to pay out tax refunds and other debts using Section 30 money that was meant and budgeted for this fiscal year. Back on September 14th of last year, with 2 weeks left in the fiscal year, GDOE had its power cut off due to non-payment. GCC was behind $9 million. UOG short $17 million. Back then, Vice Speaker Cruz told PNC,
"I don't believe that they have the cash. They're waiting for Section 30 to bail them out."
The problem with this is that Section 30 money was meant for this fiscal year and was already budgeted for this fiscal year.
And so we'll be short somewhere. And this was not, last October was not the first time it was done. In 2014, just before the election, when they received a windfall of almost $70 million, it was used to pay all the tax refunds that year to make sure that everything was done before the election. Again, to meet the court-imposed deadline last year, they did it.
The Vice Speaker says it looks like they may have to do the same thing again at the end of this fiscal year.
Until and unless the administration starts to religiously put into the trust fund the 26.8% that it's supposed to, we will always have to be playing catch-up at the end of the fiscal year.
If this trend continues, this means we will start off each fiscal year with a built-in deficit.